So let me just tell you kind of quickly, you probably already get this, but the distinction here between what a prisoner does and what a self-leader does in this state. So the prisoner who knows it all is held captive by their knowledge. Their knowledge, their beliefs, their past holds them captive. They are blinded to anything that's not a part of their memories, that's not a part of their experiences, that's not part of their biases, that's not able to be found out from a quick Google search. They're cursed by it. They're confined by their knowledge. And when we're confined by our knowledge, when we really think we know it all, there's no room for exploration. There's no room for it. We're sitting in a room across from somebody who knows so much about something. If nothing else, they know a lot more about themselves than we do. Again, whether this is a spouse or a kid or a friend or a lover or a prospect or a client or a coworker or a boss, they know so much more about something, definitely more about themselves than we do. So when we sit there and we think we know it all, there's no room for exploration because we have, the library volumes of our minds are filled up, and we believe that, at least in that situation, there's nothing else to be learned of value, right? Especially from this person sitting directly in front of us. So what's on the other side of this? Sanders says beginner's mind with positive anticipation. I love that, beginner's mind. When it comes to coaching, hell yes, that rings true, Eric says. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in coaching, going in with the I don't know mind, being super, super agendaless. I used the word agendaless today during a call, and I'm not sure if it's a real word, but it sounded dirty to me. Does it sound dirty to you, like agendaless? I don't know what it is. Never mind, I'm not going to go there. So we know what the prisoner does, right? We've all been guilty of this. You don't have to tell me that you've been guilty. I know you've been guilty, and so have I, and it's okay. It's totally okay. It's going to happen again. But this is just about having an awareness to know moment by moment there is a different choice that you can make. So what does the self-leader do when it comes to knowledge? Well, the self-leader is a sponge. The self-leader in my mind is somebody who you could drop them. And this is how I think of myself. And I bet there's a lot of people here that think the same thing. Irene says, our work as coaches is the greatest school around what we're talking about each client. It's a universal belief, and we're there to explore this incredible universe that's different. So each time I'm in front of another human being, I feel like it's my first day at school, and you're empty. Yes, being empty. It seems so counter because we've never been rewarded in corporate careers or even in school for not knowing, right? Nobody ever called on a student and said, what's the answer? And you say, I don't know. And they go, bravo, Johnny. Oh God. I love how open-hearted you are and what a student you are of life. No, you're not celebrated for that, right? You're celebrated for knowing. And this was big for me, being in an IT career for 15 years. I was paid to know the answer. I was paid to know the answer, to find the answer very quickly. I wasn't paid to say, I don't know. But when it comes to people, and this is a top-down thing in organizations, we need to start embracing. We need to fucking embrace the I don't know as the beginning point, as the starting point for exploration and curiosity and creativity and innovation, right? Nobody knows an answer straight away, and we call that innovative. That's not how it works. Innovation is a process, and it happens through openness. So the self-leader is this curious child. They see an appliance box and immediately they're transported into, 27 different uses to make this thing into something that we wouldn't think it is. The self-leader hears the exact same thing a million times. You will come back here and you will start getting what I'm talking about, that there's self-leader and prisoner, and you'll start understanding the difference pretty easily, and you'll keep coming back if you're truly a self-leader, because a self-leader hears the same thing a million times. And if they're honest with themselves and they haven't applied it in their lives yet, they listen and they welcome the insight again, because why the hell wouldn't they? Being a student of life, hearing things over and over again, even if you've heard them before, and being able to really open yourself to hearing it as if it's the first time, it's like the theme song of your favorite TV show, right? Theme songs are so incredible. They're so fun. They're the best part. It's the part everybody knows the words to, and everybody waits for it to come on so they can belt it out together, right? A self-leader would never say, oh God, the Full House theme song, whatever happened to predictability, the milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Hell no. When that shit comes on, and now Fuller House, because I watched Fuller House too, the reboot on Netflix, I'm singing that shit. Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. And if you don't know that show, you're old. Or you're too young, actually, or you're too old. But anyways, great show and great song. And even though I've heard it a million times, I look forward to it. Because it's the fun part. And the self-leader looks at lessons and information and collaboration and curiosity and connection with people in the same way. The self-leader lives by the words of the philosopher Heraclitus. And Heraclitus said, "No man ever enters the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he is not the same man." And that's the truth. In every interaction, it is a brand new interaction, or it can be if you're showing up as a self-leader. Every encounter with a person, with a situation, with a challenge, with a piece of information, with an opportunity, it's all an opportunity, a gift to exercise creativity and curiosity. I want to check in here. Fuller House and Heraclitus in the same stream. Allison, you know me. You know me. I am all about holding paradoxes in the world, just like you. Allison Crow, an incredible human being. And if you have not followed her, you've got to follow her. She does amazing work in the world. Incredible coach, artist, intuitive, teacher, just beautiful, amazing, talented woman. If you like me, you'll love her. So my challenge to you is to ask, are you willing to set aside your own self-proclaimed mastery, your own self-proclaimed, godlikeness, even if you've been in an industry for 15 years or 20 years or 30 years, or if you've just been studying something really hardcore for a few years, or you have a master's degree or whatever it is, are you willing to put aside that status and go back to being an amateur? Like Sanders said, going in with the beginner's mind just for a little while, just to play in that place, even if it means you have to admit to yourself or admit to someone else that you just don't know.